The flexi wing actually started on the Corsair. If you looked, you would actually see that the flexible wing design. Like I said, it was actually started way back in time, back in probably I don't know 1920, 1930, 1935, somewhere around there. But the flex wing design, basically, the whole idea behind it is pretty much using. It's kind of like more of a unibody wing where you're using the actual structure of the wing. See that the actual wing structure, the rounded shape of the wing, doesn't really give any strength to the wing. Um, it would just without that center spar and those other spars, the wing would just go, and break, and it would just fold like a taco. The actual rounded shape of the wing really doesn't give any strength at all, unfortunately. I was hoping that the rounded shape of the wing would, the curved shape of the wing would actually give the wing strength. But turns out, nope, it does not. Not even a little bit. There's like 10% in the actual shape of the wing that actually gives strength. Pretty much without those center spars and without that stuff, the wing would just fold like a wet taco. Bye bye. Or bend. It would just bend, bend up. So, well, but to bend up or bend, well, it bends in too. It bends into. There's a lot of wings where we did it. We tried to do it, and it bends up, it bends in, it bends. There's a lot of wings. There's a lot of crumpled wings. We used to make a lot of wings. So anyway, ironically though, well, with aluminum anyway, with wood, by the way, that's not necessarily true. With wood, it's also how your building materials really take into account what you're using to build with. It really takes into account what you're building, or the strength of things. Aluminum is a metal, and the problem with metals is that it is all particles. There is no structure in aluminum at all, really. It's all just basically like the aluminum is trying to stretch or compress or something like that, and that's all the strength you have. Now, in wood, of course, that is a fibrous thing. So there's all these fibers, and that is a little bit stronger actually than metal. When you're using component like wood to metal, there's a lot of things you can do with wood, but that you can't do with metal because wood is a fibrous material. Like I said, we used to use big steam presses and go and make these rounded wood wings, which actually worked really well, like really well. I mean, the wood wings actually worked amazingly well. That's why we were flying for so many years before anybody ever knew it. So anyway, so the flexi wing actually starts somewhere around, and aluminum originally was really soft. So we start the flexi wing actually starts in the Corsair department. The Corsair has those wings that go down and then up and then to the Corsair. Well, what we did was we said, okay, let's test out this idea. Let's just test it. Let's just see if it works, okay, before we get too worried about it. So they took a cord from the end of the Corsair wing, went all the way down through and just went across. I was like, let's just test it. We'll just go right across the bottom and go up the other side. And then that'll give us and then as the wings want to compress up, it'll have to stretch that cord. So the wing is strong in compression, but anyway. So we were testing it with the Corsair actually, and some of the other ones. So anyway, and the Corsair is basically like a triangle, pretty much. Yeah, in order for the wing to go up, it's got to stretch basically, or something like that. That's also why the pivoting wings kind of Anyway, whatever. Um, I forget how it does it. Yeah, I used to know everything about the wing, like how they would use. They tried like straight panels and all this kind of stuff. They also tried block tubes. Like we've gone through a lot. We've actually even used bamboo as center spars for aircraft just to see if it would actually make any difference. And there were actually quite a few. They used to call them bamboo flyers because they used bamboo for the center spar. And there's a lot of little light planes that they used a lot of wood like bamboo and other stuff for getting its strength because bamboo is about the right, you just cover it with, yeah, there were bamboo flyers though. Quite a few of them, in fact. There's a lot of stuff in the past that most people don't know about. But yeah, they used to call them bamboo flyers because they had bamboo center spars. And there's a lot of wooden aircraft and stuff like that that has long since been forgotten, basically. But basically, the flexi wing is a good design, and it gives like 30% more strength to the wing. But the problem, of course, is the wingtips. There's a lot of tension in that wingtip, and basically everything is dependent on the wingtip. Ironically, like I said, for some reason we tried doing it without the engines. We put the engine in the back and then did the flexi wing, and the wings actually I think flex more or something like that. It's something weird like that because we're trying to get it because the flexi wing comes into a couple different varieties underneath the wing right there, which kind of tends to pull the wing down a little bit, kind of. And then we tried it in the back. It's a really, really, really super light, super like kind of wing. It's like a lot of pilots actually don't like it because the wings just do this little like the wings like to flutter because they're in tension so much. They like to flutter a lot versus older style wing where it's like rock steady, and the flexi wing is doing this kind of thing, and but. So the shape of the actual wing was key because it really, really, really matters with aerodynamics because aerodynamics of the wing has to be perfect. Otherwise, like I say, it'll start to do this flutter if you go too fast and all that. And if that wing tip breaks off, the rest of the wing goes, and you go like seriously. If the top, I was really hesitant about it because if the end third of the wing ever breaks off, bing, and everything goes, the whole wing will fold on you, the whole wing. There's not enough strength in the wing to actually hold up the hold. I mean, barely, maybe enough, but basically, it's possible that the whole wing falls off. So those end third of those wings are the end third is really, really, really important. If they get damaged even a little bit, it's like, check it out. Because like I said, the wing is really in tension, and that's all the strength of the wing are like 70-60% of the wing strength is in the end third of the wing. If it gets cracked or damaged or anything like that, because it's basically a tension wing. So anyway, very controversial, and I was way too far down in the hole with building it. Because lots of Corsair testing. We did lots of Corsair testing between 1927 and 1930 and 1940. And it was a valid idea. It worked. The only problem, like I say, is the wing flutter, which we tested, and it worked. Anyway, it's one of my companies. So they had it, and I was like, well, and we were so far in the hole. It's like to not get a profit, and it did work. We just kept working on it. It's kind of like a military thing because we were testing it with the Corsair and some other aircraft, and then finally we went over to basically testing it with the big aircraft because, like, well, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. So, like I say, technically I lost my like, I don't know. It's like this might be worth it someday. Technically, most people would say it was a dead. Actually, everyone wrote it off. Everyone said it'll never pay out. We'll never get any money out of it. I was like, no, let's see. Let's just keep it going. Maybe. Anyway, I didn't really want to fire them. I had plenty of money, like I say, drugs and all that other stuff. I have lots of money, tons of money. So if it did work, though, it'd be a new wing design that's like 30% stronger and lighter and better. And like I said, what they had to do is they had to use the aerodynamic wind tunnels to actually get the shape of the wing is really, really key. It has to be just right. It has to be just the right shape, or else the wing flutter starts to become a problem. Because I'm serious, in the wind tunnel, it would start to go like this, and then it would go, and then it would break, and then the wing goes. It looks like. It looks bad. So a lot of people wrote it off, but I was like, oh well, I'll keep it going. So because it's a revolutionary new idea and state of the art if it pays out. So anyway, though, and it might be one of those things. LS, if you keep on spending money on it, it might actually work. But yeah, it's one of my companies, and I think it's based in Singapore or something like that. So anyway, it might be one of those things where it's like, yes, I've done it finally. Yeah. We've done it finally, actually. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, though, but it became a good second runner up to my old wing design. I mean, I own both wings, so it's like I own three wings, three wing types.